Aloha, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Box Office Chat, where we look at the box office and discuss what happened at the top 5 this weekend. So let's get right on into it. Number 5 is a movie that I forgot to mention last week, and I do apologize. I honestly did not know it was coming out, and that is Cutthroat City, making around $240,000 this weekend on a budget of $8.9 million. Now, of course, this movie has a long way to go to make its entire budget back, but seeing how theaters have been closed and are now finally reopening, and probably like me, not a lot of people knew this movie was coming out, this is why it opened to around $240,000. So we'll see how it does as the weeks go by, but I'm not sure it'll be in the top 5, seeing how other big movies might come out and push it into the top 10, so we'll see how it does. Number 4 is a movie that I'm pretty sure no one saw coming, and that is The Goonies, making $260,000 this weekend. This movie was re-released into select theaters and drive-ins this weekend, and seeing how it's a re-release, I won't dwell on it too much, and all I will say is this: if you haven't seen The Goonies yet, you probably should watch The Goonies. So moving on to number 3 is Words on Bathroom Walls, making $462,000 this weekend. And at the time of this recording, I am unaware of how much this movie cost to make. But in all honesty, this is where I thought it would end up being for my predictions last week, as I did not see that much marketing for this movie outside of maybe a couple ads and a couple posters here and there. But aside of that, virtually nothing, which is kind of a shame because I heard really good things about this movie. People are really enjoying it, but like I said before, theaters just reopened, so only time will tell. But much like with Cutthroat City, I can see this movie down a couple notches to make room for the other big movies coming out very soon. Number 2 was SpongeBob Sponge on the Run, making $550,000 this weekend, falling 36% from last week, adding to a $2.1 million total. Canada is eating this up because, well, it's the only country that is gonna see it in theaters for a while, but it's still eating it up. And as for other release dates, while nothing has been said for the United States, internationally, the movie will finally be released on Netflix on November 5th of this year. So if you don't live in America and you have Netflix, you just have to wait a couple more months to see it, while the rest of us in America, unfortunately, will have to wait till most likely next year to see the movie. Hooray! And finally, let's talk about the number 1 movie of the weekend, and that is Unhinged. Remember how I said $990,000 was a pretty good start for the reopening of movie theaters? Well, Unhinged just tripled or quadrupled that. I'm not good at math. The point is, the movie made $4 million this weekend on a budget of $33 million, and it's internationally, it's already made almost half of its budget with $13 million. So it's better than nothing, and it's a pretty good start for the box office and this movie in America for being like the first like nationwide release since Bloodshot. So it's off to a decent start, but the big question is how well it will do next week. Will it make less? Will word of mouth help it and it actually makes more? We just have to wait and see if audiences are willing to go see this for a second time, or maybe they'll tell their friends and more people will go see it, but only time will tell because, like I said, theaters just reopened, so people are cautious, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens next week. And that is the top 5 domestic box office this weekend, but we're not quite done yet, as we still got 3 movies to discuss that are hitting theaters next week. Sort of. Well, one of them's a bit of a wild card. The first one being the New Mutants. What a journey it's been leading up to this release. It's finally coming out this weekend. I don't know if maybe it might be delayed as soon as it's released, but who knows? As far as I can tell, it's finally coming out. And even though it could have just released 2 years ago when it was supposed to come out and make even more money back then, it didn't have to worry about pandemic, it's coming out at least. Yay! So we'll see how that does, especially compared to Unhinged, and how the last X-Men movie didn't do well. Maybe fans aren't interested, but maybe they are. We'll see. The other movie hitting theaters this weekend is The Personal History of David Copperfield, which has already made some of its $15 million budget back, mainly to the UK in January with 9.8 million. But honestly, guys, I have a feeling this is most likely going to turn out like another Words on Bathroom Walls, because outside of maybe a couple posters and ads here and there, I have seen little to nothing in regards of marketing whatsoever, which is really a shame because I've heard fantastic things about this movie. I heard it's like one of the best movies of the year, and it's great, amazing, and all these great things, but I don't think it will bring in the big money, which again is sad since a lot of people like this movie, but again, we live in a pretty weird timeline, so we'll see. And the last new movie coming out this weekend is Bill and Ted Face the Music. Now, unlike the other two movies I would previously talked about, this movie is pulling a Trolls World Tour where it will be playing in select theaters willing to play it, and while also being released on video on demand. So if you want to support your local theater this weekend and you're interested in seeing Bill and Ted 3, you can watch it there. But if you're not comfortable going to a theater yet, then you can just stay at home and watch the movie. And besides, I'm pretty sure the movie's going to make more money through VOD than theaters. But if there are any numbers and it does reach the top 5 at the box office this weekend, I will be sure to talk about it. And that's going to do it for this week's box office chat. What did you guys think of it? Are you satisfied with the results? Are you not? Comment down below, let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on all social media links right there. Stay tuned for next week as we will talk about more box office numbers. And until next time, guys, stay sharp.